to order. Let's see, Sharon must be sick or something.
No, she's
She was gone.
that habitat or whatever she was
She's
doing
in
that.
Colorado, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. She went all the
And
way out
Justin,
that way.
that's fair.
Okay, Justin wasn't gonna be here for sure. Okay. Give us a roll call, please.
Kim O'Connell,
Yes.
Sharon Kelly, who's absent. Tracy LeBlanc,
Here.
Doug Rowdy,
Here.
Pamela Garvey,
Here.
and Justin Wood, who is absent. We have 4 out of 6 today.
Let's do the quorum.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the agenda.
I will move to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay,
I'll second it.
it's seconded by Teresa. See no changes then, what do you all? Or nobody sees any, do they? All those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of the minutes from our last meeting that are in here. But I didn't see any changes. No one else did.
I'll make a motion.
Motion,
Go ahead.
Tracy to approve. Pam, you'll second.
Sure.
All right,
Second.
okay.
I'll give it to Doug. One of the.
All those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments. We do have somebody from the public. Come on up if you want. State your name. Yes, please.
Good morning. I am Paulette Adair and I am from Luck. I am here representing the Friends of the Summers Lake Trail System. And I would just like to thank you all for working with us on this MOU. And we are very excited to promote the trails and do some more updates. And we've also been working with Brad Pearson at Polk County Tourism. And I'm also on the board of Wisconsin Horse Council District 1. And we're working with him on ideas to better promote the horse trails in Wisconsin. And also particularly at Summers Lake to maybe develop a QR code or some way of getting people to click and track who's using the trails and maybe link them to other things that are going on in Polk County. It's kind of a reward for clicking on it. So we are working on great ideas and we're just really excited. This tourism directory is fabulous. And we're just happy that things are moving forward. So, thank you.
Thank you. See no one. The public is here. We have no other supervisors sitting in the seats. We'll jump to number 7.
Gotta go into closed session.
Do we have to go to close for this?
Yes.
Well, we don't always have to, but do we have to? Are you suggesting we do?
Probably.
It'll be brief though.
It'll be very brief.
See,
What does the lawyer say? Should it be enclosed or not? I mean, that new Wisconsin law stuff is really getting touchy.
Anytime you're discussing something that is going to result in an advantage or a disadvantage, if you discuss it in open session, I would recommend that you do it in closed session, but you have the choice whether you want to go into closed or not.
Well, then well,
You could also put it at the end of the meeting so that you don't kick everyone out and then have everyone come.
yep, go back. Okay, let's do that. Let's put it to the end then. Let's,
Oh, see if you needed a motion for that.
no, I don't think we need a motion to, because we can change it. I mean, even though we approve the agenda as it is, but we have a discretion to move it to the end. All right, let's move 7 to the end. All right, so now the memorandum of understanding, can we kind of go through that? Why it's at this committee
yeah,
and that because,
yeah. So Tony with Parks helped develop it with Paulette. It is a county forest property, so kind of just told Tony that probably should be looked at here for review or discussion.
Sure. Okay,
Because it isn't just a park property, it's county forest. So
okay,
it is a special use property. It's 128 acre property in Clam Falls. It's only property in town of Clam Falls. But everything was good on my end in terms of the forestry department. And I think everything was good on Tony's end too. So it went through finance, fresh service. Now they have insurance. I don't see any issues with moving forward.
So they have to have insurance even though the county has recreational insurance on our properties?
But as with all MOUs, they have to carry their own insurance.
They have to carry their own?
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the questions.
So all of our trail, like Ice Age Trail, even they have insurance and
Correct.
MOU with us or with county forest.
Okay.
Other system.
Was the representatives agreeable to the responsibilities they got?
Yep.
So that was all discussed well, okay.
Yep, that was through, yeah, with Tony and Paulette.
Okay. All right. So my only other question would be, would this, then it would go to the Parks Committee and stuff then after this, so we don't have them in different committees and everything? Would it kind of go there or not?
I don't think the renewal has to go through committee at that point unless something changes in the MOU.
Okay,
Once it goes through your process, just like all our other reviews, we'll review it in the year. If there needs to be made changes, then we'll make the committee aware of those changes.
all right. But I mean, it is gonna be a trail system. Do we kind of keep the trail stuff all together is what I'm trying to suggest.
Correct.
Go under Parks and Trails.
Right.
Okay. So do we move this forward or we can approve it here? Can the committee approve this or does it have to go to a full board?
For my opinion, I think the administrator can approve it. I think it's here for input from this committee because it is a MOU that directly relates to what this committee generally supervises. And there was some back and forth. And so making sure that this committee is aware of what the county negotiated for and to make sure that this committee had an opportunity to say whether they wanted anything additional there.
Okay,
Of the trail. So I think you could move to say that this committee approves of the MOU as drafted and would ask the administrator to sign it. That should be fine. I don't not have to go.
okay. Well, that's good to know. All right. Well, then, does anybody see anything they want to add, take out?
I just add one.
Go ahead.
I would just like to say that my wife and I have pulled into the parking lot several times. And since Rod redid the park, that part of it's fantastic. And she walks the trails with her friends. And it's just gonna be perfect for the equestrian people. Nice parking. They've made trailer parks or, you know, so you can pull in there with a trailer.
Sure.
And I'm one of those folks. It's really nice. You should check it out someday.
You have some questions?
Questions, anyone? Do we want to formally make a motion or do it by consensus? If somebody wants to make a motion, then Mr. Simon.
I will make the motion that I think after hearing of SARS that it's been a joint venture to come up with this memorandum and what I've reviewed on it and visited about it, I would move that this committee support this and request that Administrator Norby sign it.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Doug. Anyone else, anything? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So that will move forward, okay. Zoning amendment, that should go good too. I don't think we have anybody from St. Croix, do we? But Logan, you looked at this? Okay,
Yeah, so it's pretty minor. They just changed their definition of a kennel and then they changed their setback or removing the 1,000-foot setback from residential structures. And then added the special exception for the commercial district. That's all it was dealing with is kennels.
and that's their
The
own
town of
zoning
St. Croix.
part. That's
Correct.
not in the shoreline, so that's
Correct.
there. So most of these we move pretty much through. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that one? And I'll entertain a motion, and this one does go to the full board
Correct.
for review.
I'll make a motion to
To
put
the
it on the
consent
consent agenda.
With recommendation?
With recommendation.
with recommendation to the consent agenda. Doug is gonna second it. All those in favor then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that one moves forward. Our update on our number 10.
Yeah, so I've met with Sue twice. For a couple hours each time, hour and a half, 2 hours. We're just about through it. There's a lot more than I expected, but once you start discussing it, then it does extend out further than I thought. But so we're still working that through, and then I'm gonna go through and make all the changes that we discuss. Her recommendation is to then send that back to her and then come back with a document that's approved or not. But I just wanted to kind of bring it up here as well. So I mean, I think there's either we can do that and then bring it back, and then I can do the crosswalk with, both of them like you guys had requested. Or I don't, what the best route is for that. Otherwise, if we just take this first document back here, and depending on what there is for recommendations for changes, that may then change the outcome from her as far as it being able to be approved.
Sure.
So, I mean,
It could go either way then.
yeah, so I mean, sending it back to her right away and then coming back with like, this is what they approve, then it can be discussed here and go from there, but I don't know.
What does everybody feel? Do you think we should?
Is she the sole person, I mean, that reviews this and, I mean, basically,
Yeah, she's the Shoreland, program
Specialist.
coordinator. So I think there's maybe one or two other on the team or one on the team that they probably talk with, but I think it's ultimately her reviewing all the state shoreland ordinances.
so just because I think we all know that there's been a lot of heat about this whole deal. And I'm even looking a little bit at corporate counsel too, I mean, what really are our options if we've got, her saying like, hey, I mean, even the last draft that came back, I mean, that was very specific that she said it needed to go back to her before it went to public hearing. I mean, I'm not all for always having a lot of rules, but in the same token, we don't need to shoot ourselves in the foot on this either. So, I mean, basically, if we go outside what her recommendations are, we just thumbing our nose at her and just prepared to get slapped? Is that what we're preparing for?
The county has lots of options. So the county can more or less do ultimately whatever we want in terms of creating an ordinance. Right now, the process that we are trying to opt for is to make sure that we're not wasting a lot of time with the back and forth after we pass an ordinance saying, well, we've already passed this. It's already gotten through the entire process and now the DNR is telling us, no, they're not going to certify. We're trying to make sure that we have a certifiable ordinance beforehand. So her saying that you need to make these changes, you need to change this, you need to change that. We don't have to do those things, but it's a very good indicator that if we don't, when we send it for certification, she's going to be the person that reviews it and she's not going to certify it. Now, nothing says that we have to listen to her. We could pass an ordinance if we believe that it is legally defensible, and we want to fight that fight. We have every right to do so. We can pass an ordinance. She then would say, we're not certifying it. We have a number of legal options that we can address when that comes up. We can theoretically scrap the whole thing and go to the model ordinance. We can go back to the model ordinance with a couple of changes. We can do a lot of things, right? There's an infinite number of options, but the process that we're currently going through is basically just trying to say, we want to keep all of the big things that we have made in modifications since we made the general overhaul back in 2012 or whenever that was.
2019.
2019. we want to keep all of those big changes. How do we keep those big changes with the slight tweaks and make sure that it can get certified? Nothing says you have to do that. Like I said, you can go to model ordinance if you wanted to, but that's the direction that this committee has more or less decided they want to go.
So after that, Logan, you get all these and redo it. I wonder if we shouldn't look at it once, see how close to the model it is. It's almost like the tourist rooming house we just went through. We fought it for years and went, here's the model. We're gonna use that. I mean, if that's what we get down to, then we send her that.
And we're gonna be pretty far in terms of the shoreland ordinance from the model ordinance, only because there are so many of those, the tourist rooming house issue that we've added to our shoreland ordinance.
Yeah, I mean, that is part of it too, yeah.
The easement issue that we added to our shoreland
Yeah.
ordinance. We have a number of additional restrictions that this committee and the board has wanted to add to our shoreland ordinance. So ours is gonna be pretty far from it in terms of we've added a lot of stuff. But in terms of what is in the model ordinance and is reflected in our ordinance, I think we're relatively close. When you take what's there and look at, is all of this stuff in ours, it's pretty.
So the minimum standards that of the model, we have all those. And there's only a few suggestions yet that we can change.
Yeah,
I mean, there isn't a lot that we can super change, or
yeah.
whatever.
And that's where I think some of these changes are getting to align with that model from her perspective to be in compliance with
Yeah.
that. But no, I think generally it was, done in line with the model, but there's
Okay.
some tweaks that are problematic from her point of view. Some of the other issues are more of when we put the zoning districts in our shoreland, and like we have under mining 5 acre minimum, that can't be in there because the shoreland minimum is only 10 or 20,000. But we can still enforce it from our general, but if they have general zoning, if they don't, we can't. But, so that's where she's like, you can't say a 5 acre minimum in mining when it's in a shoreland area because you're more restrictive than what it is, and you can't be more restrictive
Okay.
in those certain areas.
Some of that.
So some of that is, the
Where it
zoning
cross-
districts are playing a little bit of a headache,
In-
having
in it,
those
okay.
specifically in the shoreland ordinance.
Sure.
If they weren't in the shoreland ordinance, then that's when the unzoned areas would have no zoning districts at all, even in the shoreland areas, it would just be the shoreland ordinance.
Okay.
So like right now, we have a blanket RA5 in unzoned areas, so there's some regulation on what can be done there. So that's where, I don't know if
That's in
that's
that
why it was
1,000.
put in there back then, to have some
And that's in
regulation.
that 1,000 feet, because that's what
Correct.
people don't understand.
Yeah.
Because the first 300 we have pretty much down to residential, don't we?
Oh,
There's
just
really
on
a lot
the
On the major lakes,
class ones.
class ones, yeah. Okay. Well, what are we thinking, that we should look at it before he sends it?
I mean, it's like our goal here to have it done like by the first of the year and in place. I mean, are we like shooting for
I think,
I mean, I know it's tough going back and forth. So, I mean, anything is,
but we have enough, I think.
but
I think that would be the goal, would be
But we're gonna have
before
to
the
go-
next building or the first of the year.
But we're gonna have to go through public hearing.
I think we're doing our due diligence to have it, taking our time and getting it correct. And
Exactly.
with the same time, not dragging our feet,
Yeah.
and not,
Right.
a bunch of back and
Yeah.
forth. I think that's our goal, is to just be efficient at making sure our update is certifiable and clean, and not every month getting it back and sending it back for.
Yeah. Back and forth so much. But I mean, that can be a goal, but I mean, we go to January, February for the big season doesn't start quite as much, but it'd be nice to have a goal as the first of the year.
I mean, it seems like that's the big kickback when you get an email or something like we're dragging our feet or we're pushing it into another, or it's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're just going through it so we get it right. And, so if we had a,
The 26 one
And-
was what, a year and a half?
I mean, you're real,
Just quite a while for that one.
realistically, I mean, if Logan has his one more follow-up meeting with Susan to get all the things in there, it comes back to committee in September. We send it back to Susan at DNR to make sure everything's in there complete. It comes back, we have our public hearing in October. It's in line for the next building season,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Does that sound realistic, Logan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does. It is obviously at the, just
Right.
at her availability, but yeah, I mean, I think that would be a feasible time.
Push her just a little bit.
How many times does she have to look at it?
I got to talk to her a little bit last Wednesday, but it was a little bit.
A little bit too much.
Should you maybe not be talking to her, Kim? Is that?
I bite my tongue way too much. All right.
All right, so then the
And then if
plan,
we need a work session or something with that, with everybody else, maybe we have a second meeting in 1 month and have it just for that.
Yeah.
You know, then we can have that free for all and get it over with and get going.
so then the plan is we'll see the draft hopefully next month,
Or be close, yeah. Okay,
what would be sent
all right.
for pre-approval or whatever we're calling it.
Think about it.
I would think about a second meeting to have just for that, so that,
Thanks.
you know, we can get everybody that wants to,
Needs to be tied up, yeah.
yeah. I mean, at least then they could say they have input, but then we don't just send it, come back and then try to change it all again, because then we're kind of set in our ways, but this way, if they think of changes, we can at least explain to them why we can't do it. You know? All right. Okay. Time's around 11 already.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just a couple things. Sales tax for July was up 33% from last year. Net increase, we're up 11.4% overall for the year, so about $304,000. There was some in the state budget, there was some unintended consequences of one of the things that he dropped the sales tax on electricity and natural gas for the entire year, not just for the November through April, which actually lowered our baseline for receiving sales tax by 0.7% in 26 and 1.5% in 27. So it's a few $1,000s. I think it's around $7,000, but it is a hit to us. Resolutions going to general government are the recycling special charge resolution. As you know, that was a pilot program, looking to budget that into the 2026 budget as keeping that. Library funding is currently at 95%. That resolution will be going in front of general government and then county board also. And then the 2026 fee schedule is scheduled to go for approval for general government, and then it'll be on county board also. Preliminary numbers released for 2025 for equalized value in the county. The county's up 9% on that. Net new construction is up 1.47%. So we're including those numbers for net new construction in our budget also. Public Works highway projects are continuing to go on with 2 bridge replacements completed, one on W and one on 357th Avenue up there in Lorraine. And there is a treatment court graduation September 5th at 9 a.m. One person is graduating from treatment court. So I encourage you all to attend that. Treatment court starts at 9 and following that will be the graduation. So that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
All right. We'll get that tax up a little bit. We don't have to borrow money. Okay. Sarah is not here today, huh?
No, Mr. Chair, in her absence, the department managers will be providing individual department updates, if that's okay.
That is fine.
Kick things off. At last meeting, I mentioned that the Loveless Lake representatives of Loveless Lake were pursuing a district formation. And I've since reviewed that draft petition and sent it back to those representatives to obtain more signatures to demonstrate more of a majority in favor of that. So there was a shortage of signatures and they need more to achieve that 51% or more.
Okay.
So they're working on that and when they feel like they've achieved enough signatures, we'll see that back. Next thing, you may have gotten an email from Wisconsin Land Plus Water about a coffee and conversation Thursday, August 21st from 9:30 to 11. It's a virtual meeting regarding renewable energy siting. So I don't know if that's something of interest, but it's there and available if anybody wants to sit in on the conversation regarding renewable energy and the siting of those facilities. Does anybody recall getting an email on that?
I get
Should have
it.
went to the
Yeah.
LCC or,
I get one every day from them.
sure. Yep,
Yep.
they're pretty active and
They are pretty active. I get it.
appreciate that.
Yep.
So I wanted to mention that. Next thing, July was pretty busy and we wrapped up our Polk County Fair. We had another good year there. All of our staff were involved in some way in the fair and our display and we met with and saw a lot of citizens and we had educational and outreach displays pertaining to soil health, chronic wasting disease and in deer and information about our department and what we do and specific projects that we're working on. So was well received and again, we enjoyed the opportunity to share what we do at the fair again this year. Our well water testing program update. We have completed our pre-registration of the watersheds that we're working in this year. And those are the Rice Beds Creek and Staples Creek, Apple River, and then Mackenzie Creek and Bone Lake watersheds. And we mailed out over 1,200 letters soliciting for volunteers to provide well tests. And again, our goal is 100 participants in each watershed. And we nearly achieved that. We got 97 samples in Rice Beds Creek and Staples Creek and 88 from Mackenzie and Bone Lake for a total of 185. So that's pretty darn close and we're happy with that. So now all those participants who volunteered for this project will be receiving a well test kit in the mail. And then I believe it's August 19th. They'll take the samples and bring it in to us and we'll get them to the lab after that for analysis. And we'll report on that probably at the November meeting, but we can touch that when we get to the work plan. The last item, I want to extend my gratitude and thanks to the committee for providing that resolution regarding land conservation staffing increases in the state budget. That resolution was heard and there were a number of other counties that provided resolution and it did make a difference in the state budget. The state budget was kind to our land and water conservation departments with regards to staffing and we'll see an increase in staffing allocation for 2026. So that's good for the county levy and good for our department. So they always aim to provide staffing funding for 100% of one position, 70% of a second, and 50% of a third. They haven't been able to do that in previous budgets, but this one was very close. So we're going to receive 100% of the first, 70% of the second, and 70% of 50% of the third. So to make math
It's like a
complicated,
lottery,
Yeah.
but it's still,
half of a half.
yeah, it's still a substantial increase and we're appreciative of that. So thanks for your support there. It did make a difference. And
But you have two number ones, so you get,
yeah,
wouldn't work that way, would
well,
it? That
they'd
would,
rein that and they'd see that in a hurry.
they'd see that, wouldn't they? Yeah. Okay.
So that's all I have
for now. Thank you.
All right. How about it? Who's next? Tim?
Sure, I'll go next.
Yep.
Just a couple updates for you guys. First one is an update on the bike and pet plan. Since we last talked about it or gave you an update, the advisory committee has met 3 times. Most of the meeting is focused around reviewing the survey results and the other feedback from communities and trying to incorporate those preferences into the planning document. A lot of mapping work, working with regional planning, also Supervisor Warndall, who was the previous highway commissioner, and then Josh Kelch, who is the current highway commissioner, have been part of the process. So doing the evaluation on the roads and what shoulder widths we have, what speed limits we have, what the most direct routes would be, or the most scenic routes, whatever the preference is. Just a refresher, some of the goals of the plan are to connect incorporated communities and then special areas like our county parks, state parks, those kind of things. So when the draft a map and plan come out, you'll see that definitely reflected in the plan. One of our next steps is to finalize that draft plan or the draft map, and then we're going to hold a municipal roundtable. So towns, cities, and villages will be invited to that to provide some comment on whether or not those routes they seem would be feasible, and if we're making the right connections into those incorporated areas, because they have their own planning jurisdiction. So we just want to get to their incorporated boundaries, and then they can plan within their communities. So we just want to make sure that our planning document is lining up with where they would like things to go in their communities. So that's kind of the gist of where we're at right now. We do plan to have the plan done and through approval process at the county board by the end of the year. So the committee, I'm updating you guys because it's a planning project, but most of the work and any of the things that would happen in terms of implementation would be mostly related to highway. So public safety, public works is where it's going to go through in terms of approval process. But I'd like to keep you guys abreast of the situation. Any questions on that?
No, I don't have any. Sounds good.
The second thing I'd like to update you on is our GIS internship project. We've had the pleasure of having Taylor Johnson as our intern this summer, and she's doing a fantastic job. The project she's working on is a coordinated project with the DNR to update their emergency response atlas. So this is both GIS data that can be used on a computer and also a hard copy map that they have on response activities. So like mostly for wildland firefighting kind of stuff. So it's mostly the northern third of the county that we're working on, but the data sets of addresses, response zones, what else we have here? Hydrant locations, utility substations, road names, those kind of things are all part of that. We've had an atlas before, but it's been about 10 years since it's been updated. So there's new properties, new addresses, and new zones that need to be put together for that. So it's not one of those projects where we're just kind of coming up with something just for the sake of it. These things are actually used on the ground for emergency response by the DNR units. And our land information technician, Tracy Klatt, is actually on one of those SIT units that works up mostly in Burnett County. So, yeah. So she's about 85, 90% done. She's got a draft that she's going to send out to the DNR this week for feedback. And then any comments that they've had will be incorporated before her internship's done at the end of the year, or the end of the month, I should say. Yeah.
Now, does she deal with emergency management too?
She's coordinated with Lisa and got data sets, and that will be shared with dispatch too if they need any of those data sets.
So it gets sent out to people. It doesn't just stay here. It goes out to these
It's
places.
DNR property, like the final result is for the DNR, but we can use that information internally as well.
Okay. So that is usable we can send it to the different fireplaces and stuff.
Yeah,
First
and then
responders and stuff. We can send that out to them if we can.
they need it. Yeah, if they need it. Yep.
All right.
They have plenty of information already, but if they need it, one of the things that the DNR would like to do in the future is expand it not just to the northern third of the county, but the rest of the county too. So we should coordinate with local fire departments on that too in the future.
All right. So that it's a DNR grant then is what it was?
Yep, DNR is covering
It's a
all
DNR
her wages.
grant,
Yep.
okay. All right. That's why they have ownership. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
That's what I have.
Any other questions? All right.
All I really have is our permitting is pretty much staying right on par with where it was last year. So each time I look, we're within 5-10 permits of last year, sometimes above, sometimes below, just depending on what week it's been approved. So yeah, I mean, I'd say we're right on pace for the same as last year. I think sanitary maybe has been staying a little bit ahead of last year, but nothing substantial. The only other update I have is a staffing update. So we did have Kara Cook resign. Her last day was July 15th. We were fortunate to get the process going quick to rehire, and we will have a new zoning specialist starting August 18th, who will be Keaton Tolixon. And it may sound familiar. He was a prior land and water intern, so he is a little bit familiar and from the area, so it will be nice to get him going. It was a bummer to lose. Kara's had a lot of expertise, has been here pretty much just as long as I had, so it was a lot of knowledge there lost, but I think we can get Keaton trained in fairly quick, so.
Okay. Any questions up there? Okay, then we had your other update for the stuff. All
A few
right.
things, Kim, on forestry.
Oh, sure, you're in here too.
Yeah. Just kind of
Sitting right there.
Right there, and I say it, Paul isn't there to push him, that's
Yeah.
why.
Unfortunately, Paul's not here. Yeah, so a couple months ago, you probably remember Sarah bringing up doing a forestry tour, or both of us. We're looking at October 15th. It's a Wednesday. I don't know, it's a month till we hit the next one, so it's good to start now to talk about that. But do you want me to set a date like that and just whoever can make it, can make it? I was kind of
Especially if we
looking
have
like
a meeting in the morning, we can do it after our meeting and make it a whole day
It would be
meeting.
a meeting day though.
I don't think it's a meeting day.
Not a meeting day.
Yeah,
No, it isn't now, but it could be.
good.
Don't you want to get
I would
this?
say we need about 4 hours to get a good,
Oh, well, then we better have a meeting date.
See what I,
uh,
okay, see?
Yeah.
Now you know what I'm saying. It's,
little
it's,
time
Lunch on the bus?
Set aside.
it's kind of a hidden thing, but I brought it up.
Lunch on the bus. There you go.
October
Or if you
1st
send
would
an
be a
email
meeting.
to all the committee members and just say, will this date work for everybody?
Do we invite everybody on the board? Go that way.
Be a big group, but we
I
can
mean,
do it.
But I mean,
Oh, let's just us do it first. See.
tell them to do
See
it
if
on
I'm
their
up to-
own.
Yeah, see if.
They can follow us.
Not the. Yeah, so I don't know, whatever.
You want to schedule it, see if you can schedule it for the first, so it's, then we have a meeting and then go after the meeting.
Yeah, but if it's 4 hours. What if we have 4-hour meeting?
What if we have a 4-hour meeting? That's happened before.
It's called an 8-hour day then.
You know,
Is it, you said the.
Do you want to have a separate
First would
day?
be our October
Okay.
meeting. Or do you, I
So
don't,
do you want to have it on a separate day so that it doesn't drag out too much?
okay.
Because I don't think all of us can get along for 8 hours. 4 is pushing.
oh, come on.
We might have better leaves in mid-October too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
So then still tentatively, maybe look at the
Yeah.
15th.
let's look at the 15th.
Okay, do you want me to send an email out just
Talk
to
up with Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah, Mo,
have Sarah?
whatever.
Yeah, I would say let's do that and then we might have a short meeting to start or something if we need a second meeting or something too.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, it can be a afternoon or a 9 to 1 or a 10 to 2 or something like that would be, we'd look at going in the northeast.
6 to 10.
Yeah,
6 to
I'm
10.
up at 3:30 in the morning, so hey, come on. Let's get on the bus.
Can't see trees in the dark though.
Oh,
Yeah,
October, you're right, it'd still be dark at 6 in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, that sounds good. We'll tentatively.
let's
plan
get
that.
it. Then we'll pick the times. How's that?
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
talk to Sarah when she gets back to try to help. Get that.
Okay, sounds good.
I guess other forestry updates. Got about 113,000 in gross revenue so far this year, just over 600,000 in off, on the books, not paid for. Close to 10 sales that are still sold. So we'll have a few that expire in June, a couple high dollar, one for sure, high dollar, one that's in Lorraine will be coming due. So not sure if we'll see that this fall or next calendar year. Stuff's been pretty consistent, not a lot of activity, but enough every month to just kind of scoot along. So no issues on the timber sale side of things. Did finish up some site prep for planting next year. We have 70,000 trees coming next spring. So got the site prep done on just under 70 acres with a reforestation crew out of Minnesota. So we'll be ready for that in the spring. Got a couple bids out for hand release right now and bud capping from the bud capping will be from the trees we planted last year. We did 70,000 trees last year, so we bud capping to do one more year of no deer browse. So I get those trees above the deer. They're doing really well, the stuff we planted last year. So, and then the hand release is just cutting competition out of our plantations that were planted in 2019 and 2021. So we'll see what we get back for bids there. It's only about 35 acres. Other than that, we got 7 sales done so far that will be sold next year. Those are all in Sterling, and then we'll have 1 timber sale that we'll work on this fall once the leaves start dropping. That'll be sold. So we should have 8 sales next spring. Ready for market. So
I was curious, you talk about hand release, is that what you call it?
yeah, it's essentially that means that they're physical people doing it, or we call it mechanical release too.
Sure, but they're
But they have
basically,
brush saws.
okay,
Yeah.
scrubbing, so bids, now do they have any benefit as they gather that, or are you just basically hiring a crew to take care of it? I'm just curious.
Benefit to,
Like, can they do anything with what they're clipping and cutting?
no,
No,
it's
it's just a
drop and
manage-
leave. Yeah.
It's just a straight out hire to clean it up and to get rid of competition.
Yep, per acre price.
'Kay.
So we send it to we don't get as many bids on those. These H2B migrant crews they're all over North America, and they just rotate and bid based on where they are, right? That time of year. So like the Midwest in the spring, we get lots of bids for planting because that whole crew system, different companies are
Okay.
working in the Midwest planting versus like the South has a different planting season, the
Yep.
West has a different
Mhm.
planting season. So the mechanical release, especially for the amount of acres we have, it's not like it's all counties are doing it. It's not all the Midwest is doing it this time of year. So we don't usually get too many bids, one, maybe 2.
Got it.
But Gov Knowles is doing one too. That Forster there. So, and our bids went out about the same time. So hopefully we get somebody. We just look for at least one person to do it. So
Sure.
it's a lot of work, but we did just over 30 acres last year and about 50 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, it wasn't getting done and that's kind of where I'm at, prior to me
Mhm.
starting. So there's a lot of catch up because there was, close to 400 acres planted between 2019 and 2021, and all the competitions above the pine that's been planted. So it's kind of a crucial time to actually get the trees to live. Yeah. So I'm trying to clean that up as quick as I can. It's expensive.
I'm sure
So,
it is, yeah.
It's the highest reforestation cost. So the ways to bring that cost down is to have a more intense site prep, which is herbicide versus just
Mhm.
trenching and planting through hardwood. So that's kind of what has happened. So that's what I've been deviating a little more intense site prep to not have to do hand release.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So that's kind of over it too.
Thank you.
Did you get a little more money for roads too this year in the budget?
I think there's gonna be an uptick.
I thought there was an update that
Yeah.
you might get, it isn't a huge amount, but it's like $3,500 or something.
There is in the state budget, there is an increase for forest roads.
Yeah.
Forest road.
Gas tax roads, yeah.
Yeah, we have very few of them in Polk County, so it's not a lot of money, but it is something.
It's something.
I just got the numbers yesterday. I've revised a lot of the road systems that have been here. The naming conventions were wrong, or different from what was actually signed or not signed. We got about 7.99 miles. So, it's a little bit more than when I started, but it's
still, that's
If
right.
you add a mile, it only adds $200.
Yeah,
So,
that was the thing.
yeah, so I think last year we got like 2,800, 2,700. Hopefully it's more. I can hardly do anything with it. So
Well, that's not even one call.
I have I've banked it, and previous administrators have banked it in case we have a failure on a road or something, but I think that account's got just over 10,000 in case something happens. So that's enough to play with, so. But
Okay.
2 culverts and all of a sudden you're done, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, the new budget cycle too was good to formulate. Along with land and water, obviously, and other county functions, but they fully funded, we have the county administrator grant that pays for, half my salary and fringe benefits. That's fully funded. They were actually stealing from a different grant to help fully fund that, the Sustainable Forestry Grant. So they're gonna now fully fund the Sustainable Forestry Grant, which is about $500,000 per year
Wow,
for the
you're
county
expensive.
forest.
No.
What's that?
I just said, you're expensive.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, no, not just me. I wish I was that expensive. So that's good. That'll open up more opportunities for big reforestation projects, or they usually use that money for road infrastructure failures, disease, forest health, like windstorm, just tornado, I guess a snowstorm. That's been the biggest expense since 2022. The Northwoods got all that snow and that killed a lot of young trees. So they had to restart a lot of stuff, and it's expensive to restart. I guess that's kind of an update on that. Oh, and they fully funded the wildlife habitat grant. It's pretty low. I get about $800 a year, or I did. That's expected to double. It's been funded at just under a nickel an acre of county forest acres, and it's supposed to be diamond acre. Now it's going to be down diamond acre. So
To do what?
it has to be specific for a wildlife improvement. So we use it. It's a coordination with the partnership meeting I have with the DNR every year, but the wildlife biologist kind of has to give me the okay to how I spend that. And as long as we've been using it for jack pine. Jack pine's a declining species in northern Wisconsin, and also has young forest benefits like different warblers, Kirtland warbler. So as long as we're doing jack pine reforestation, I could use
You could
that
use it for
money
some of the
towards
reforestation.
that, yeah. So whether that's site prep or even release, I'm gonna use that up. So I get that automatically, don't have to apply for it. And you can't bank it more than 3 years, so you have to use it. So I'll try to delete that account this year, or that funding. So, and I'll put that towards release, because most of everything we're doing is jack pine for this release project. So it helps offset our costs, especially when there's carryovers. So that's about it on that side of things.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, yeah. All right, we still have to go to our close. Do we have anything that we want to put on our? So in here, we only got one.
I can give the legal update in open.
Oh, you can, okay.
Nothing confidential has happened in any of our cases. No decisions that you have to make or contemplate. Force versus the Board of Adjustment continues to be ongoing. No decision has been made. Stour continues to be ongoing. We're waiting in both of those cases for decisions out of the Court of Appeals. Don't see any indication that they're coming out this month, so maybe I'll have better news next month.
Or not.
The WRA case, nothing has happened in our case. However, a decision came out in District 2, in the District 2 Appeals Court, which WRA was suing the city of Neenah for something. The city of Neenah made the same or a similar standing argument against WRA. WRA made a similar argument that they made in our case. In that case, the circuit court sided with WRA, and the appeals court didn't really fully write out, in my opinion, a full argument for why they were agreeing with this underlying circuit court. They kind of said, here's the different factors, and they win. So yes, they have standing. I don't have a particular concern about that ruling impacting our ruling out of District 3. It's an entirely different district. Different appeals districts act differently. I think it's the Attorney Malone and Atolis Law made very good arguments. In my opinion, in our underlying case, we have the underlying circuit judge ruling in our favor, and they're appealing that ruling. So while it is on the same topic, it isn't controlling over our matter. It's two separate courts. If District 3 rules in our favor, it is very possible, though, that WRA, now having that victory in District 2, will appeal our case up to the Supreme Court, saying, well, you have two different districts, Supreme Court rulings two different ways. And so it may go to the Supreme Court, maybe. But we'll see.
Then it's years.
Right. So that's that. We also have a federal case where Mitchell Bankston was suing zoning and Polk County, as well as the DNR, his neighbors, and a bunch of other people in federal court for federal 1985 violations, basically trespass and due process violations. We made the argument that there are state actions currently pending, and so federal courts are supposed to not interfere with state actions. Therefore, that case should be dismissed. The federal court just yesterday or 2 days ago ruled in our favor to an extent. They didn't dismiss the action outright. They said if we dismiss it, he'll be by the time that those civil actions resolve, he may be time barred from refiling. Basically, the statute of limitations will run out. So we're not going to dismiss the action, but we're going to administratively close the actions for the time being. And once those state actions are resolved, Mr. Bankston can re-petition the court to reopen those and then readdress them. So it's a victory for now, basically. We'll see how those civil actions play out. They're being prosecuted by the district attorney's office. I don't really know anything much about them at all, other than he was issued, I think, 6 or 7 citations for different civil ordinance violations and civil statute violations. So those are set for a status at the end of this month. Who knows whether, I don't know whether the DA has any kind of settlement negotiations going on with Mr. Bankston or whether they're going to trial or anything. So so next month I'll have a little bit more information on that underlying civil case there, as it potentially impacts our federal case.
Okay.
That, I think, is all of the litigation that is affecting this committee.
Sure. Any questions? Yay, it's ongoing.
It's a long way to say, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
What? I need-
Here's the same I said last month, yeah. Do we have anything that we want to put on our? I put well reports on November, but for our next meeting. If we just, do we have any?
One item on the work plan that should move September to Public Works, Public Safety, the data on the trail use.
Oh, yep,
We'll just eliminate that off your work plan.
okay. That just gets moved to the right committee.
I'm gonna add on the work plan, the stuff that you guys talked about for the review of the ordinance, and I'm also gonna put on September and October, like possible meeting dates, like I did for June, possible second meeting date. Just so it's on the work plan, and then addressing those ordinance changes, and I'll probably put possible public hearing on October and November. Just
Yeah.
so those are on there.
So that they're on
Yep,
there.
heads up.
In October, also a possible forestry tour.
Yeah, I'll add that. Also just let us know what day that is so we can do the notice of quorum.
Sure. Okay,
And just to confirm groundwater study results, okay to move that to November? We'll be finishing that up.
oh, yep, I
in
wrote it, I didn't see it was on the other one. Just, yeah, to November.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get that moved on the work plan.
Thank you.
Do we have any, with some of the stormwater stuff and erosion stuff, do we have to address our fee schedule at all? Or amend it later? So far, we're doing all right. I mean, if we get more that we have to address, do we have an hourly rate that you have at Land and Water that we can apply to those?
We have a fee structure. It's fine on, you know, unless zoning wants to apply, you know, something additional for our review of shoreline permits and so forth, but
So maybe we should just internally discuss that and then, so we know by November if we need to
yeah,
put that on a fee schedule, or if it's just an hourly thing that you already have. Just that people know about it, I guess. So that we're kind of covered, I guess,
I'm not certain we were going to make any changes to that
at this time. Okay.
evaluate it based on need for, you know, what we're doing.
Or
right
if we
now.
get a large amount of them or something, then we'd adjust it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. We know if we have any district change cups coming up.
Yes, we got a conditional use permit for expansion of a non-metallic mine, and then there will be, I believe for sure, well, possibly, depending on timelines of review, major subdivision that would come to yours.
Oh, okay. So they would be for the next meeting, the way it's,
Yeah,
we
I
put it
haven't
on
went through
there.
that with, so you give the people you send 45 days, but I think if they get it back right away, we can, you know, move forward. So hopefully, like I said, I've never went through it, so I don't know if that's usually how it goes. If they just say, yeah, no issues, and then we just move forward, we don't have to wait that long.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Otherwise, I would say for sure it would be at next meeting, but if for some reason that.
Put it on there. and
Yeah.
If it doesn't, we can always scratch it.
Yeah.
So that at least we're prepared. Okay.
Can I ask Logan one question? I don't know what time, but it was a Board of Adjustment came out just this week. And it talked about a boathouse and a landing. What does that mean? You don't, doesn't every boathouse have a landing?
I don't think every boathouse has a landing as
I mean,
far.
you gotta
as
get
I've
your
seen.
boat into the house, so isn't that technically a landing?
So I want to,
Okay,
because that's waiting for appeal in front of the Board of Adjustment, I'll ask that we not talk about that.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. I was waiting for you to say it. I could get it in there quick.
Logan's like,
Everybody looks for the hatchet coming up.
For the work plan, we also still have the approval of the 2026 forestry work plan. Are you good with that too?
Yeah, I can get it next.
Okay. And then that review of tax deed properties, I don't know if we have to do that, do we?
In October.
It says August here. It was today.
Yeah, there was no change in that, so we
There's no
pulled it
change in that because of the
Right. there was
Act 214.
no
Okay.
movement on that. There was no change, so we just pulled that from the agenda for August.
They didn't change much this session, did they? I didn't think so. Okay. All right, we're covered, because, you know, at least that way, things we know now, if we have to add, yeah. So let's go back to
Closed session.
number 7, the closed session. That's will be 1985 1E is what we should refer to. The first close. Or is it the 1G?
That's what the,
E.
E.
The 1E. Okay, so the motion should contain that language to go into closed session. That.
Sure, I move that we go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.851E for deliberating the negotiation of public property.
All right,
I'll second it.
seconded by Tracy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're closed. Open then. All right.
Back and open, but do we need to go back into closed for, or don't we have anything in?
He already did it.
Right.
The litigation one we did. Didn't have to be enclosed. So then I guess us after closed, a direction would be to always look for ways to get in. I think that you're always kind of on the look and for
Yeah.
land for sale.
And we have the backing too of the 15-year plan. It's identified the process for that,
Sure.
right? For you guys and for me, that's
Yeah.
directed towards if the opportunity
Arises.
block within our forest blocking area. If there's an opportunity that would bring it to you guys.
Yeah, about like this one that we
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it was there, so let's take a look and
Correct.
it's either viable or it isn't.
Yeah,
So,
the one thing that makes me nervous, well, maybe it won't matter, but they didn't do the Knowles Nelson Stewardship Grant through the budget cycle. To reauthorize it, so it's up in 26.
yeah, I see that too,
And
yeah.
they're gonna do it separately from the budget, so I don't know where that's gonna head. If it, I'm sure there'll be negotiations with it between both parties.
That's a lot
Let's
of,
see,
that's a big,
I think it's a great program for.
it is a huge one,
municipalities,
yeah.
to be able to help support that, so. The county forest one specifically is probably, more positively looked at than some other subsidiaries of the Knowles Nelson, so. There might be parts of Knowles Nelson that they might wanna smoke out of there or adjust values of how much they give. But the county forest in northern Wisconsin is, I think this should be okay. We don't know what the reauthorization will be.
Yeah, I mean, it's, and they've been jumping around because they're trying to sell some of the land too, and buy different blocks. I've seen too, the DNR has some for sale that they're gonna,
Try to
in the
block.
southern states bottom, and then they wanna move that up to the north. But.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, the state uses Knowles Nelson the same way as we.
The same way, yeah, everybody, they use it huge. So.
Yeah.
All right,
That sounds good.
anybody, any updates? I went to that meeting on the boat. It was interesting on the St. Croix. Pretty much all wannabe stuff. They did not get into the specifics of setbacks and different things, what we can do to protect. They say, here's what you could do. So it was too much feel good, you know, and it wasn't really, what can we do? But I think there was like 80 people on it from Minnesota and the watersheds and stuff. There was a lot of people there. So it was interesting how far
Reaching it.
people and because Minnesota they have a clean water. They got like 3 different water shed deals over there, and they have big groups that really push it hard.
They have it over there.
And then, well, but all the pamphlets and everything was all Minnesota laws and all that. So I mean, we were sitting in the minority there, but they have good ideas, but they're not as strict. Their DNR is not some of the stuff either. The setbacks and stuff. They show houses right to the shoreline and
Of
stuff
course.
and all that, so. But it was, they broke it up. The National Park Service, the DNR, both DNRs gave a deal. Conservation Development, they had a deal on that, but that was the 20-year-old plans and stuff. I mean, they didn't update a lot of stuff, so, but it was still interesting. And it was smoky
Oh, sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
it's like at 7 o'clock at night, now all of a sudden you couldn't even see down the river. It was getting that thick on the river, so. And then Sharon was there too, so. But we were in different groups. I mean, they bounced you around pretty fast and all that, but. And that's where I talked to Sue from our DNR. And the normal, I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
All right. Number 15.
Sharon's not here, we'll have to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're stuck.
Make a motion, to adjourn.
Okay, from Doug, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Pam. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.